big deal.
A 3-second long lapse in judgment can burn up an entire mountain, which will take 100 years to recover. We can protect these lush forests if you follow these guidelines. First, do not bring flammable materials to the mountains. Second, do not cook or camp in the mountains. Third, do not litter cigarette butts. Your small actions are the first step towards protecting the beautiful forest. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산 영어 방송.
All-Star English 특집 공개 방송 Beyond K-Sound. 한국에서 세계로 K-사운드가 라이브로 펼쳐집니다. R&B, 트로트, 판소리, 글로벌 버스킹까지 한 무대에서. 미국 출신 트로트 가수 마리아, 프랑스 출신 소리꾼 마포로르, 882만 뷰의 촛불 하나 버스킹 영상으로 화제를 모은 영국 출신 안코드. Global Voices, 1K Sound. R&B legend Kim Jo-han and global K 외국인 stars are taking over Busan. 저 신민수, Campbell Asia, and one and only Kim Jo-han의 진행으로 All-Star English Special Outdoor Event Beyond K-Sound 5월 23일 토요일 12시 부산 북항 친수공원에서 만나요.
지역 경제가 힘차게 출발합니다. 기업들이 고객을 향해 더 빨리 가려면 방송 광고라는 엑셀을 밟으세요. 경제도 기업도 더 힘차게 달려가니까요. 방송 광고의 작은 힘, 경제의 큰 힘입니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
Good morning, Wavers. It is Happy Friday, our favorite day of the week. But it's also Teacher's Day. 네, 스승의 날입니다. I was thinking about this in the morning. What are the qualities of a good teacher? Maybe, in my opinion, a person who has strong relationships with their students by way of good skills in communication, or maybe they're really good at listening, collaboration, adaptability, empathy, and yes, having lots of patience. Well, unfortunately, there's been much talk about the erosion of teachers' authority in the classroom lately, whether it's, some parents or students that cross the line. But the thing is this, though. Some treat this whole teacher-student relationship as a zero-sum game, meaning like one person has to win at the detriment of another person, but does it really have to be that way? And at least for today, let's celebrate all the teachers and educators out there, past and present. Happy Teacher's Day. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Friday, May 15th on BEFM, 부산 영어 방송. Good morning, Wavers. It's that day, the day that we've been looking forward to all week, especially if you work a traditional like Monday through Friday kind of schedule. I hope you're all doing well and are ready to enjoy our morning together. So as I said earlier in the opening, just a little while ago, it is Teacher's Day. And we're going to talk about this later on as well. But I think teachers come in all forms, not just your official teachers at school. I mean, someone who's like a mentor, a teacher in life is also a teacher. So anyhow, today's text topic is very much related to today. So here we go. What is the biggest lesson you have learned both in and out of the classroom? 자, 내가 받았던 가장 기억에 남는 교훈이나 가르침은 Oh, what is this? What did you learn? And from whom also, if you can share that with us. Send in your messages to BFM's live stream live chat on YouTube. So go to the YouTube platform and type in BEFM, Busan 영어 방송, to find our channel. Subscribe, log in, and chat with our other waivers from your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050. That's going to cost you 100 won. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk. So find our BEFM account first, add us as a friend, and then you can send your messages, photos as well. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM on the radio. That's if you're in the Busan area. We are streaming live right now on YouTube. Come check us out. And we're available on the BEFM app and also the Papang app. All right, so let's look at the lineup for today. We have Jian for now in Busan, Haley with top stories in hour number 1, Wagga Wagga Tea Time in hour number 2. Casey's coming in for Foreign Press Highlights. And then in hour number 2, we have Global Affairs, Professor Andrew Millard. For our special interview, as I gave a little preview yesterday, we are going to tackle the Trump-Xi summit. You know, there's a lot of rising global tensions right now. What did they talk about? What was agreed upon? Was there any agreement? We're going to find out with our expert. That's coming up in hour number 2. For now, though, let's turn to Jian and see how she's doing. Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Yay! So I want to know from you the biggest lesson you've learned, whether it was in a classroom or maybe just in life in general. What have you learned? What do you want to share with us?
I think it's from my mom, the saying that she always told me that you have to change the person instead of trying to change the person. So like 사람을 바꾸려고 하지 말고 사람을 바꿔라. So instead of trying to change the one's personality or expect him or her to, you know, change, just change the person. Meaning have this different one.
Maybe turn your attention to somebody else.
Somebody else, yes.
Okay.
Not changing the one, but changing
that
person,
one
the
with
person
somebody
that
else.
you're having. Yes.
So basically, you cannot change someone.
You cannot. She always told me, like, never ever try
Wise
to
woman. I mean, you know, because sometimes we're, it's kind of an illusion or, we think.
It is an illusion, yes.
We think, like, oh, I can change her or I can change him.
I can fix that person.
Right.
No, you can't.
And by the way, and who are we to say we're fixing someone, right?
Right, exactly.
So anyhow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I like that one.
Yeah, that's my life lesson.
So we're going to jump into some local news. A recent survey revealed that 7 out of 10 teachers in Busan said they would not choose teaching again. So tell us about this.
That's right. So the recent survey found that 69.2% of teachers in Busan said they would not choose teaching again, which is actually about 4 percentage points higher than the national average of 65.3%. This is according to a survey conducted by Korean Federation of Teachers Union 교사노동조합연맹.
That's unfortunate to hear. What are the main reasons behind this dissatisfaction?
Many teachers cited heavy workloads caused by frequent meetings and administrative duties. In fact, 56.1% cited meeting-heavy school management culture as a major burden, the highest rate among all regions.
I see, and I hear that many of them also, they're considering leaving the profession itself.
Yes, about 27.9% of Busan teachers cited excessive administrative work as the main reason for considering a resignation, which is also higher than the national average of 23.4%.
Well, what about classroom support systems and student discipline issues?
That as well, responses were largely negative. Only 3.8% said the student separation support system for class disruption was effective, and just 3.0% gave a positive evaluation of the complaint handling system.
I see. What about concerns about legal protection for teachers?
85.1% said the emotional abuse clause under the Child Welfare Act restricts educational activities, ranking the highest nationwide.
I see. So not a very rosy picture of what's happening in the classrooms or on campuses. Hopefully we can turn that around. Let's move on for now, though, and move to our next local story. Busan City is advising regarding this SFTS virus prevention.
Yes.
So we need details on this. What is SFTS?
Of course.
Yes.
Busan City is urging citizens to strictly follow preventive guidelines against severe fever with thrombocytopenia syndrome, or SFTS, especially as outdoor activities increase in spring. It can cause high fever, vomiting, diarrhea, and in severe cases, multiple organ failure.
Right. So SFTS in Korean, that's 진드기맥 감염병. So that's why it's SFTS. It's
Yes.
in Korean and in
진드기.
English, it's very long, right? Yes. So how widespread is this in Busan?
So over the past 5 years, Busan recorded a total of 24 cases.
Okay.
Most cases occur between April and November, meaning the risk is concentrated in spring, summer, and early fall.
Yes. And who's most at risk?
So older adults and people who work in agriculture or forestry are at higher risk, along with anyone doing outdoor activities like hiking or working in grassy areas.
Okay.
The fatality rate in Korea has been reported at about 18% since 2013, which is relatively high.
That is. So
It is.
Let's be very vigilant and careful out there. Next up, let's talk about this court decision regarding land taken for the Hwangryongsan Observatory project. So what is this about?
Yes, a Busan court has ruled again that the land expropriation of temple forest owned by Mahasa Temple for the Hwangryongsan Observatory project was illegal and must be canceled.
I see. So what was this case about and what exactly was being contested?
So the case was filed by Mahasa Temple against the Central Land Expropriation Committee seeking to overturn an expropriation decision. The dispute involved 2 forest plots in Yeonjaegu district covering over 34,000 square meters. The court ordered the cancellation of a 2024 expropriation decision on these lands.
Yes, and why did the court say that the expropriation was invalid?
The court found that the land had been designated as protected temple land under the formal Traditional Temples Preservation Act and later fell under the current law on preservation and support of traditional temples. Expropriation of such land requires approval from the Minister of Culture, Sports, and Tourism, which was not obtained in this case.
I see. So they didn't follow, I guess, protocol and the rules. So thanks for explaining this legal case. Next, let's talk about what happened at the UN Memorial Cemetery right here in Busan.
Yes, a Dutch-Korean War veteran was laid to rest at the UN Memorial Cemetery in Busan yesterday on the 15th, where his comrades are already buried.
Yes. And so who was this veteran and why was he honored there?
So the veteran was retired Colonel Jaap Constance, who served in the Dutch Army during the Korean War. He passed away last year at the age of 97 and had expressed a wish to be buried in Busan with his fellow soldiers.
Yes, and did he receive any military recognition?
Yes, he was awarded several honors, including the Dutch Order of the Cross for Justice and Freedom, the UN Service Medal, the U.S. Army Commendation Medal, and a commendation from the President of the Republic of Korea.
I see. And what does his burial represent?
His interment adds to the symbolic role of the UN Memorial Cemetery, where soldiers from 14 countries are now buried, totaling 2,337 UN troops who rest there in Busan.
I see. So, of course, to all the veterans who have served, who have sacrificed ultimately,
Right.
of course, we do want to honor them. Our final story today, though, is about the Korean Army officers serving in Busan.
Yes.
So what's the story here?
So here now, it's about Korean Army officer. A female Army officer, Captain Lee-dam, has donated 35 centimeters of her hair to support children with cancer. She had grown and carefully maintained her hair over 2 years before donating it to a non-profit organization that supports children undergoing cancer treatment.
Wow. So I know there are certain rules. you got to grow at a certain length, right, before you can donate. And I hear this is not her first time doing this.
Yes, this is her third hair donation, which began back in 2014 when she was a high school student. She said she wanted to bring comfort and happiness to people struggling with chemotherapy and expressed her intention to continue participating in various forms of volunteering and donation during her military service and beyond.
Wow, so not only is she serving, but I mean, donating her hair as well. So a lot to learn from her. So thank you for all the local stories. Wishing you a great Friday. We'll check in with you on Monday.
Thank you.
Everybody, this was Gian. I'll be back with your traffic and weather. It's time for your traffic report. First up, let's talk about Luno-Samsung-daedo, which is congested from Myeongji Underpass to Shinho Bridge. Also, Waseok Underpass looks busy to Daedong Hwamyeong Bridge, the Anmak ramp. Also busy on Mandakdaedo from Namsanjeong Station to Namhae Expressway, Tokcheon ramp. There's also traffic on Gwangnam-lo from KBS 3-way intersection to Dongbang 5-way intersection. It's currently 16 degrees Celsius in Busan under clear skies, and the daytime high will go up to 22 degrees Celsius. Other parts of the country will see daytime highs go all the way up to the low 30s. So make sure you put on sunscreen and drink plenty of water. Looking at the weather for the weekend, an early summer-like weekend here in Busan, with the highs going up to 24, 25 degrees Celsius throughout the weekend under clear skies. This was your traffic and weather. It's time for the morning brief. Trump and Xi agree on bilateral ties but reaffirm positions on Taiwan and trade. U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping signaled their desire to stably manage relations between the two superpowers, but staked out their positions on Taiwan, trade, and other key issues during a high-stakes summit in Beijing. Samsung Electronics and government proposed talks. Union rejects offer. Samsung Electronics and the government yesterday urged the labor union to resume wage negotiations as the union reaffirmed its position that it has no intention of engaging unless key demands are addressed. Government officials cites low possibility of non-Iranian actor involved in attack on Namu. A senior South Korean government official said yesterday the possibility of a non-Iranian actor being behind last week's attack on a South Korean-operated vessel in the Strait of Hormuz appears low, while stressing that an investigation is still underway. Kospi ends at new peak, stopping short of 8,000 points. The Kospi ended the day yesterday at a record peak of above 7,980. Yesterday, once again, just an inch away from the unprecedented 8,000-point level amid optimism for the U.S.-China summit. President calls for all-out war against crimes targeting youth, women, after student murder case. President Lee Jae-myung yesterday called out for an all-out war against crimes targeting socially vulnerable groups, including youths and women, following the recent fatal stabbing of a female high school student. This was the morning brief. Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to hour number 1 of Morning Wave in Busan. We have Haley in the studio. Let's say hi. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Teacher's Day.
Happy Teacher's Day to you too.
Yes, educators unite. Well, we're going to jump into this summit between President Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping. What happened?
Right, so China welcomed President Donald Trump with a grand welcome at the Great Hall of the People. First, Trump was greeted by a military parade and also Chinese children waving and cheering him on, as well as a gun salute.
So there was plenty of pomp and circumstance and grandeur. What about the meat of the meeting?
Right, so let's get to the substance. The big event went on for 2 hours and 15 minutes, so far longer than actually expected. So President Trump's review of the meeting, one word, great, which is the adjective he used to describe President Xi Jinping as a leader as well as the talks.
Yes.
So it did start on a warm note. In the opening statements, President Xi Jinping began his remarks by saying that the U.S. and China need to be partners. And President Trump echoing this by saying that the bilateral ties will be better than ever.
I see, but of course, they did not agree on everything.
Right, so we are getting bits and pieces, and this is what we do need to know, though. They did not issue a joint statement. The two countries issued what are called readouts, which are respective summaries from the meeting. So what we are getting, they're both true. It's just the countries are choosing to convey to the public what they want them to see.
Okay.
So the first, the U.S. focuses on the Strait of Hormuz and trade, or rather trade and Hormuz in that order. According to the White House, it stated that the two sides agreed that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open to support the free flow of energy.
Yes.
President Xi also made clear China's opposition to the militarization of the strait and also Iran's efforts to charge a toll for the passage. Xi, according to the White House, also expressed interest in apparently purchasing more American oil.
Okay. Well, what about China's reading of the summit?
So the biggest sticking point here was Taiwan, where President Xi drew a firm line. So pretty much right after the summit began, Chinese state media reported that President Xi has warned of the potential for conflict with the United States over the Taiwan issue. And Xi called Taiwan the most important issue in China-U.S. relations. So that timing is obviously very measured.
Yes.
And Xi said that if the Taiwan issue is not handled properly, the entire China-U.S. relationship could be pushed into a very dangerous situation.
Right. So Xi also apparently made mention of this ancient Greek political theory. So what is this about?
Right. So according to the Chinese state media, CCTV, she mentioned this Thucydides trap. So what is this? Well, it's actually coined by a modern American scholar, Graham Allison, but named after an ancient Greek historian.
Yes.
What this says is describes this high risk of war when a rising power, in this case would be China, threatens the existing power, in this case the United States. And it's been used by kind of evidenced by a lot of political theorists that a U.S.-China conflict would be inevitable, at least according to history.
Okay.
Because historically, if we look at the last 500 years, there were 16 such conflicts of a rising power versus an existing hegemon, and 12 of them resulted in war.
I see.
So many experts have analyzed that this summit could be a turning point of this world hegemony, going from a unilateral U.S. one to a dual U.S.-China system.
Yes. Going back, as you mentioned, Beijing rolled out the full red carpet, the bells and whistles.
Right. So I want to go to the fun part, the bells and whistles, indeed, because especially in these really high stakes, high profile summits, especially for China, nothing is done without intention, including the dinner menu, maybe especially the dinner menu. The state dinner last night included Beijing duck, also beef ribs, which caters to President Trump's taste for a well-done steak, one of his favorites. And also similar to the 2017 visit, the menu was a mix of Eastern and Western, but also comprised of Chinese fare that is well known and well liked by the international palate.
Yes, and we have a visual on our YouTube page right now. You can see the beautiful setting, the Chinese
The China.
Because China dishes
Lowercase China.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what lies ahead for the final day of Trump's visit?
Right, so today is luncheon and tea with President Xi Jinping at the Zhongnan High Complex, which is also a symbol of the Communist Party and the State Council's power. But it is this beautiful former imperial garden.
Yes.
Also symbolic because this is the site of the historical meeting between former President Richard Nixon and Mao Zedong when, quote, Nixon opened China back in 1972. After all of this, President Trump will depart from Beijing this afternoon.
Yes. Thanks for covering this. And of course, our special interview with our expert on this coming up later on. Well, let's bring it back to South Korea for the upcoming local elections as we are in the middle of the 2-day candidate registration period.
Right. So registration will open for the final day today from 9 to 6 p.m. But as of 9 p.m. yesterday, 6,833 candidates have submitted their papers to be registered.
Okay.
That's according to the National Election Commission or the NEC. Let's go over some major races. Seoul City's mayoral candidates, Chung Won-oh of the Democratic Party, or the DP, and Oh Se-un of the People Power Party, PPP, registered. The former calling for change, latter for protection of Seoul. In Gyeonggi, the Pyeongtaek-ul re-election, that's for the parliament, that's looking to be one of the biggest races in terms of the number of candidates. 5 people are running. So going down the list, DP's Kim Yong-nam, PPP's Yoo Ui-dong, Rebuilding Korea's Cho-guk, Progressive Party's Kim Jae-yeon, and Freedom and Innovation Party's Hwang Kyo-wan. This is to fill the empty seat left by Democratic Party's representative Lee Byung-jin after he received a guilty verdict that nullified his election victory.
Right.
As you can see, the Democratic Party in the pan-ruling party sphere and the conservative spheres, none of them managed to merge their candidacy, thus this long ballot, the 5-person race.
But of course, a figure whose presence is looming over the elections is the president.
Right, so we're not electing a president, but the president's presence is there because it just comes as the Lee Jae-myung administration. It comes to the first year in office. And the ruling and the opposition parties are fully in election mode to either defend or attack the administration. The heat is on for the 14 by and re-elections for the parliamentary seats, and even some potential presidential hopefuls running in these races. 13 of these were seats previously held by Democratic Party lawmakers. So again, the defense for the ruling party versus offensive for the opposition party, that dynamic will be strong.
Yes, and we can't leave out this region, the fierce competition in Busan.
We cannot. So the race has started for Busan's mayoral election. Incumbent Mayor Park Hyung-jun was the first to register at 9 a.m. at the Busan Election Commission office.
Okay.
Democratic Party's Chun Jae-soo came an hour later and submitted his papers. Both parties, so interestingly, they seem to be focusing on the individual rather than partisan politics in this case. So less of a chance of perhaps central figures from the central party coming down to campaign and endorse, but rather both parties focusing on the capability and visions of the respective candidates.
Right, and the two candidates, they have already clashed.
They have, because there was a televised debate earlier this week. So that kind of focused on the personal attacks. Park Tu-chun, he focused on the unification church links for Chun Jae-soo, including the luxury watch allegations and whether Chun had visited the church's headquarters.
Yes.
Chun Jae-soo responded back the investigation did not lead to charges being pressed. Flip side, Chun Jae-soo attacked Park Hyung-jun's LCT apartment residence for Park failing to sell this apartment as he promised 5 years ago. Park Hyung-jun apologized for not living up to the pledge, but explained that there were issues with the Chunse lease.
Well, we also want to know about the issues.
The real issues,
yes.
right? So Chun Jae-soo announced this Youth New Deal for the maritime capital of Busan. So for young people, Chun introduced his Experience Guarantee. Essentially, this initiative for the city of Busan to directly hire young people and then dispatch them to corporations because we kind of see this, we want new recruits but with experience.
Yes.
So it's to prevent that,
right.
to build their career. This was in response to Park Hyung-jun's pledge to help young people build assets. Park on the same day announced his AI pledges, focusing on data or data centers for ports, shipbuilding, and finance. So 3 major strongholds for Busan's industries for this Busan type AI system.
Yes, so that's for the mayor's seat. Another major race, though, is the 북구갑 election district.
And this is a 3-man race that's been garnering national attention as well. So Democratic Party's Ha Jung-woo registered his candidacy with the 북구 election office. People Power Party's Park Min-sik followed as well about 40 minutes later. Final candidate, independent Han Dong-hun, will do so today.
I see. And what will voters see come election day?
Right, so come June 3rd, of course, there's early voting, but remember that local elections will have a lot more ballots than the one for the presidential election or the 2 for the general elections, because come the local elections, at least 7 ballots for the most parts of the country.
Yes, yeah. So what or who's on each of the ballots?
Right, so we are voting for the education governor or the education superintendent. That's 교육감. The English phrasing depends on what area you're in.
Yes.
Mayor or provincial governor. Head of district, city, or county. City or provincial council, this would be 시도의원. Proportional representatives, 비례의원, for the councils. District or county representative plus their proportional representatives. Then for the 14 districts, including Busan's 북구갑, you have the by-elections or re-election of your National Assembly representative. So they'll see 8 ballots. So these will be given to you in 2 separate batches. First, you vote for the education governor, in Busan the mayor, and the head of the district. And then for the local council election ballot, so 4 pieces of paper will be given to you. They will be all slightly different hues to differentiate them. Local elections, though, they are also open to foreign nationals who have had at least 3 years of permanent residency.
That's right. So we have a lot to look forward to June 3rd. All right, before we get into this next story, I want to ask all of you out there, have your driving habits changed since the war in Iran started?
What's driving? What driver's license? It's like, when you cut your credit card to kind of cut back on spending.
Yes.
I almost kind of want to do that. But I am happy to say my 동백전 is already in the rebate phase right now as of yesterday. So, that's strong.
Okay.
So if it hasn't, because some people can't. They're working or commuting or living in areas without public transportation.
Yes.
I mean, you're probably breaking the bank. So according to the Korean Statistical Information Service, or KOSIS, the cost of operating personal mobility vehicles, cars, motorcycles, that's jumped by 16.3% last month compared to the same time a year ago. And this would be the highest since July of 22 in the early days of the Russia-Ukraine war.
Yes. So what does this include?
Gas, diesel, all that. That's jumped by an average of 22%, 21% for gasoline, 30% for diesel.
Yes.
But if you own a vehicle, it's not just the fuel. Maintenance fees also went up by 4.8%. Even car wash prices, they're up by 4.3%.
Right.
And I don't know. I've just given up on washing my car. It's pollen season, so
It's so dirty, mine.
It's green and yellow. It's just is gonna be what it is. My car's the pollinator.
Yes.
So changing your engine oil, that's also almost 12% more expensive than a year ago. So that's, of course, a mix of rising fuel prices, but labor costs as well.
Right. So what we've done is, like, every time we go to the gas station, and when we say we, I talk about my roommate filling the gas. But lately what he's been doing is leaving the receipt of the gas, like, visibly in the car. So, like, reminding both of us, let's drive less.
Oh.
This is the cost of filling up the tank, right? So anyhow, that's what we do. So with these price hikes, EVs look more and more attractive.
Oh, for sure.
I need one right
Definitely
now.
demand is growing for electric vehicles. Actually, the number of newly registered electric vehicles for this year exceeded 100,000 as of April 14th. Why does this matter? Because last year, the country hit the 100K figure in July. So 3 months ahead.
Yes.
Now the country has a total of over 1 million electric vehicles.
Right. Next car.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, up next. The police yesterday released the face and identity of the suspect in the random killing of this high school student.
Right. So the suspect who allegedly killed a 17-year-old girl on the streets of Gwangju is 23-year-old Jang Yun-gi. Gwangju's Gwangsan police released the personal information of the suspect yesterday. So he faces murder and attempted murder charges for allegedly stabbing the 17-year-old female victim on a late night May 5th or early morning, and then wielding his weapon against a different 17-year-old boy this time who came to help her.
Right. So apparently he didn't even know the victims,
Yeah.
but the police say that he was allegedly planning a different murder?
Right. So his initial target was apparently his former colleague from his part-time job, a foreign national in her 20s.
Okay.
He apparently had feelings for her, which were not returned. He continued to express his feelings for the woman, and she actually reported him to the police for stalking on May 3rd, 2 days before this incident. The police apparently closed the case on the scene, but this apparently left him very angry. He allegedly went looking for this woman who moved to a different region. So it seems that his anger was misdirected at the victims. The police changed the definition of this crime because initially they thought of this as a random outburst of violence, but one that stemmed from anger, a crime of passion. And they did so after investigating the case and talking to profilers.
Right. So I hear that this case now has been passed on to the prosecution.
Right. So he actually stood in front of the reporters yesterday before being arraigned at the prosecution. He appeared without a hat or a mask after his information was released, held his head high up, stayed silent to most of the questions, but he did say he was sorry.
Tragic story. All right. Lastly, do we have any updates from the Middle East?
We do. So as the Trump-Xi summit was happening, Iran seems to have let some Chinese vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. So Iranian state media stated that the authorities made the decision starting the previous night local time on the conditions that these vessels agree to Iran's rules, which were not really stated. The report emphasized that this was done on the basis of the two countries, so China and Iran's deep trust and mutual partnership relationship. So if these reports are true, this is a clear sign by Iran to manage relationships to show great goodwill to China.
Yes. Well, we're going to leave top stories here, and we'll check in with you in hour number 2. So thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
All right, we are ready for a song break. How about this? The Great Escape by Boys Like Girls.
Plastic hearts, all our belongings in shopping carts. It's goodbye, but we got one more night. Let's get drunk and ride around and make peace with an empty town. We can make it right. Throw it away, forget yesterday. We'll make the great escape. We won't hear a word they say. They don't know us anyway. Watch it burn, let it die, 'cause we are finally free tonight. Tonight we'll change our lives. It's so good to be by your side. We'll cry, we won't give up the fight. We'll scream loud at the top of our lungs, and they'll think it's just 'cause we're young, and we'll feel so alive. Throw it away, forget yesterday. We'll make the great escape. We won't hear a word they say. They don't know us anyway. Watch it burn, let it die, 'cause we are finally free tonight. After the wasted time, the hours that yesterday. We'll make the great escape. We won't hear a word they say. They don't know us anyway.
Korea Broadcast Advertising Corporation, known as KBACO, supports TV advertisement production for innovative small and medium-sized enterprises, and you can get up to 45 million won. Apply until June 1st, 6 p.m. Please visit the KBACO website for more details.
All right, everybody, it's time for Casey. Casey's here for Foreign Press Highlights.
Good morning.
Woo-hoo!
Well, I have to
Happy
bend
Teacher's
down more
Day.
today. Haley, what did you do this mic?
You can raise it. Use the little here.
Shall I?
Casey? Yeah. I'll give you time. Casey's in the studio. For those of you who are not on our YouTube channel, check us out because he is adjusting the mic.
Ah, there we go.
you go.
There we go.
Okay. Yes. Regular person height now. Yes.
I didn't say it. She said it.
No, I love teasing her. There's only one thing I can tease her about, you know?
That's it?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Because she's so cool, right? Nothing,
right.
Everything bounces off, right?
Right.
I wish I were like that. If you say anything, I'll take it home with me and later be like obsess over it.
Oh, really?
Is that true?
Text topic time, though.
Uh-oh.
I want to ask you about any lessons that you live by, that you have learned, whether it was in the classroom or not necessarily. Life lessons are good, too.
Don't message your teacher too late.
Yes. We were talking about this off air.
Life lessons.
Yeah.
Actually, that is one. You know what? To be considerate of what time you contact people.
Yes.
You know, in some countries, like there's like actually like Germany comes to mind. Like there's actually law about that. And I'm actually not going to harp on my students. Perhaps departmental messages don't need to be sent after dinner time.
Oh,
Isn't that a
really?
good cutoff?
You get to
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Or on the weekend.
Oh.
If you message somebody on the weekend, isn't the first thing that comes to mind is like, I'm really sorry to send this.
Yes. But they send it without the I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no sorry involved. That's kind of like, hey man, I'm on my time.
Our school, I have to say, relatively good.
Yeah.
Like unless it's an emergency, like a typhoon is approaching, please close all your windows.
That would be fair to send
Yes.
somebody. Yes.
Something like that.
Right. That would be fair.
They're pretty good about it. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like, consider other people's time. You know, like sometimes
Yeah, that's
I get
true.
that urge to be like, I want to send this before I forget. I have that issue where I'm
I've
like,
done that too.
Sure,
'Cause
but also just kind of think about other people and what they might be doing at that time of day.
I will be more considerate. Thank you, Casey, for reminding me.
I didn't want to call you out on the air.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Calling
actually
everybody else out. You get it, right, people? All right. We're going to jump into Foreign Press Highlights. What do you have for us?
All right, Ramyeon, you want to go?
Ramyeon.
When's the last time?
ramyeon?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, how do we say? In the U.S., I think I always called it ramen.
Yeah.
Ramen
because that's-
noodles?
Because in the States, it's like...
That's usually
that
how they
was
spell it.
before the K-wave.
Right.
And like distinguishing between the ramen and then the ramyeon.
Do me a favor. Anybody
Yes.
in the U.S. that's listening, what do you say? What's your
They say ramen.
ramen?
Ramen.
Still.
Right,
Okay,
still.
got it.
Because that's how it's spelled.
But I don't say that anymore.
What do you say?
Ramyeon.
Of course, the myeon, the noodles.
And you
right?
corrected me. You're like ramyeon, and I was like, oh yeah, sorry.
So when's the last time I had?
Yeah.
I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Okay, we're about the same then, I guess.
Like, for me, it's like I enjoy it. It's a treat only on a Friday, once a month.
I want to delve into that further. Should I?
Oh,
okay.
because
Why Friday?
I got to worry about the puffiness.
What?
If I have ramyeon a Sunday night, on Monday I will look like a blowfish.
Are you serious?
Hootie and the Blowfish. I am the Blowfish.
That's, South Carolina people could
yeah.
could understand that comment.
Yeah, so Friday night is the only day. It's
I didn't
a
know this
thing.
is for real.
Yeah, for real.
So-
I'm real sensitive to MSG.
Oh, is it the MSG?
Yeah, and the salt.
It is very
Yes.
sodium heavy. Let's say.
Right. Why?
I
Why are we
just blew my
talking
mind.
about?
I want to
Why
talk
are we
about
talking
another thing.
about ramyeon?
I want to get into your personal life, but all right. Do you ever think about like how it's made?
Not really.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do
I
when
just enjoy it.
my kid. Cool, but my
Okay.
kids are like kind of like getting into it, and my kids are like really sensitive to like spicy food. Not my fault, I
Oh.
promise. I mean, it probably is, but
Yes.
So I kind of like I'm like I don't know how much they should eat of this because I think about it. So I got to watch. There's mostly pictures, but in the CNN article that came out this week, robots and ramyeon inside South Korea's largest instant noodle factory. You see like pictures of the process.
Yes.
And I actually did take my kids to a place here in Busan where. It's kind of this thing where they learn how to do different jobs.
I
you know
love
what I'm
that
talking about?
place.
Okay, so
I
we know
want to
what we're
live
talking about.
there.
My kids want to live there too. It kind of
Yes.
creeps me out. I don't know what I'm supposed
Why?
to do there. Like I'm like, am I supposed to participate or do I sit on a bench for 3 hours? I don't know what I'm supposed to. I don't know what I'm doing
take
there.
photos of them doing the
I'm so glad we
activities.
talked about this, except we did it on the air. I should have asked you off the air.
Yeah, you got to take photos of them doing all their jobs and activities because that place is amazing. I love that place.
All right.
Okay,
Now I
okay.
know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Well, so we did the mock ramyeon factory. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it was fun, and I probably took at least one picture.
Yes.
I assume.
Sure.
But after like reading this article, it's like they're not going to be going into this job. Have you ever been to Gumi?
Oh, I've been to Gumi, passed by.
Okay, because
Not- yeah.
it's a big train. Express train stop, right, as well. So, in case you're unfamiliar,
Yes.
in the article they call it a mid-tier city. So
Yes.
there's roughly 400,000 residents. I expected way more than that.
Okay.
I'm surprised by that. But it has also a long history as an industrial hub. So first it was known for textiles, then it became electronics, and then today, I didn't know this as well, South Korea's largest communications technology center.
Is there? Oh.
Yeah. But
I know it as like the Lemon City.
Right. That's the point of the article.
Okay.
And they say that's the city's cultural anchor. Did you know how big the factory is there?
No, I've seen photos though. I have seen the photos. Pretty amazing. Do we have any photos?
Well, I'll give you the numbers. I don't
Okay,
even know
let's
what this
go-
means.
yeah.
42,266 square meters. Is that big? That seems like a big
Yeah.
number.
No, yeah.
Like I'm terrible at that, so I
I'll
don't know.
pretend.
All right, we're working on a picture, yeah? So to put it in perspective, every minute at this factory, 600 packs of ramyeon roll off what they say is the highly automated, ultra-fast production lines into boxes that are also then carried to the loading bay by robots. This sounds like the future.
Every minute, 600
600.
packs of ramen. Ooh.
So per
okay.
day, 6 million packets
Oh my gosh.
produced there.
Oh my gosh. Think about all the calories.
It is a lot of calories,
Like
isn't
the
it?
deliciousness.
Something that I wanted to ask.
Yes.
And I didn't have a chance to contact CNN before this. The yellowness to the noodles, I don't get that. Where that yellowness comes from. I want to know that. I'll get into that someday. I'll
Is it
solve
not
that.
eggs?
Is it? I don't know because
Probably.
in the article they only mention like wheat and like the factory does the whole process there.
That's like asking why is pasta yellow?
But there's a different yellowness to it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, someday
say
I'll solve
so.
that.
Okay.
But there are actually people there, despite all the robots.
Yes.
They say there are 600 staff members there that help the plant produce 80% of the black and red with the very prominent logo.
Yes,
I
the
can't say that,
spicy
right?
one.
Yeah,
You
the
can't
spicy
say
one.
that one.
90% of the, let's say, spaghetti-esque black bean paste version.
You're getting us hungry again.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
But so almost everything, if you eat those products,
Yes.
it's more than likely produced there.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh, wow, that's really centralized. So in addition to the people that are working there, they've got AI-enhanced sensors, smart cameras. They monitor every point of production to ensure safety and quality. And I never
Right.
really thought about that. Is like, is there some safety issues with ramen that could go wrong? Yeah, of course. It's food.
Apparently, and then of course our producer, she's not paying attention. She's saying, 막 나온 라면으로 라면 끓여 먹으면 더 맛있나요? I don't know if it's like freshly off the production line.
They claim it's better. Yeah, so okay, I was gonna get into that anyway. So Gumi is like really like, all right, we gotta use this. So
You
they
know
started
what though? I don't believe you, so we gotta go.
for real.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go check it out. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we have to go now. Oh, time's up.
Oh no, like we gotta go
Okay.
to Kumi.
I gotta go?
And Tommy says that place is amazing. I visited 3 times with his
Oh,
3
so
kids.
You can visit it and do tours there.
Apparently.
I would check that out. My kids would love that.
I want to go.
My kids would love that. And especially all the automation, they would love to see how it works. Me too. It's fascinating to watch. I'm scared of AI in the future. Yes. but I would like to see it in action. I like those coffee machines that are made by robot, the coffee at rest stops. I like watching that stuff.
Right, right.
However, there is still a human touch, and I'm going to skip that guy because he's cool. Read the article; it's fascinating.
Yes,
There's a guy that started in Busan and moved to Gumi, and his personal story. Okay, I want to get to this ramyeon festival.
Yes, real quick, and then we got to move on to our second story.
Started in 2022. They only had 10,000 people. Last year, 350,000.
Oh my
So people are
gosh.
into this, and they do say if you get like freshly flash fried is what it's called.
Freshly
Flash fried.
flash fried. Okay.
Ramyeon. They say
good?
it's better fresh.
Okay, we got to go.
Yeah. And check the stamp on the back. If you buy those products, you'll see the person who packed
We
it.
got to finish with this one, though.
Okay.
The World Instant Noodle Association said that last year Koreans ate more than 4 billion servings.
I wanted to ask you, okay, do you think you eat 77 bowls roughly of ramen per year?
No,
way,
mine
right?
is like maximum 10.
Oh, okay.
like
I'm
once
with
a
you.
month,
I'm with you.
if that.
77 sounds like a lot.
That's a lot.
That's like if you average it out, that's what
Right,
people
right,
eat. So some people much more, apparently, right?
So check out the story.
Yeah, and asado smoked pork noodle soup, you can get that at the festival. I want to know what that is. I'm hungry too. Okay.
I know. I wish we could just do this for like the next.
We could.
We got to
could
move
easily,
on. We got to move
we
on
could
to our
easily
next
do
story.
that. But I
All
also,
right.
I don't want to leave this story behind because
Yes,
this is
yes.
something I hope to see. Do you think sports can bring people together in general?
I think so.
Okay.
But, maybe I'm just, I don't know.
No, I agree. I saw it. We
An
had a sports
optimist.
day at my university last week.
And what happened?
And it was fun. It was like kids I saw who were like not into sports at all, like
Yes.
myself. And we were like just having fun, like watching and just being outside.
Right. Just, you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be good at it, but it brings
I
people
certainly
together.
am not.
Okay.
I bring the whole spirit of the thing down, in fact, with my badness.
Did you hurt your back while you were playing sports?
See, even thinking about sports, I'm like, hurry Oh, hurry
I was like, what's with the?
Yeah, I mean, I think the word sports like triggered me. I was like,
Okay.
Yeah,
It was a silent trigger.
Yes.
So why are we talking about this? Sports?
Because this is reported by France 24. Rare, meaningful
Yes.
North Korean football team ventures into South. There is an interesting history here between North Korea and South Korean sports. They mentioned this in the 2018 Winter Olympics in particular.
Yes.
That was a big deal. They had the first unified Olympic team. It was the women's hockey squad. Do you remember this?
I do.
Me too.
Yes.
So it was at the Pyeongchang Games here in South Korea. That was a big deal. 2005, I wasn't aware of this, even though I was here.
Yeah. What happened?
Ri Sol-ju, who's the wife of Kim Jong-un, she visited at that time as part of a North Korean cheering squad for the Asian Athletics Championships.
really? Okay.
Yeah, so like this has kind of been a thing where through sports there has been some kind of connection built.
Because it's largely apolitical.
That's the hope.
Largely,
That's the
yes,
hope, right?
yes.
So this Sunday, Naegohyang Women's Football Club will be
Right.
the first sports team from North Korea to visit South Korea in 8 years.
Oh.
Because there's kind of been a standoff of
Yes,
non-sports cooperation. So they're going to play the Suwon Football Club women 3 days later at the Asian Champions League semifinals. But it gets really complicated. They can't come directly from North Korea. So they have to go to Beijing first
Sure.
and then fly here.
I see.
According to South Korea's Unification Ministry, which a lot of the information about this comes from, because it has to go through them. Everything involved with this has to go to the
of
ministry.
course.
There's going to be a total of 39 people coming. 27 of them will be players, and then there will be 12 staff members.
So just 39. So
That's
no cheering fans or anything like that this time.
Well, I thought about that. Like, could they bring fans?
Right.
Probably not. So, and fans can't just travel on their own.
True.
So to kind of deal with that, the Unification Ministry has been like, okay, we're going to give a certain amount of money. It's 300 million won, which is roughly $200,000. They're supporting South Korean civic groups who their purpose is to go to the match and cheer both sides. So they're going to have fans.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, wow, how's that going to work? This will cover the ticket costs, cheering supplies, banners. And the purpose is like if this goes well, this is good for both sides. So we want it to be like that, an
I
equal
see.
opportunity kind of thing.
Okay. Interesting. So
Yeah.
how many people do they expect to attend this match?
2,500,
Okay.
but the sports complex that they're playing at has a capacity of 12,000. So hopefully much more people turn out. But this is 2,500, they're expecting with the civic support groups, I think. And here's where it gets complicated. Like, what kind of cheers can you do?
Yeah, what can you cannot
There's a lot of
say-
guidelines, right?
Because I was going to say, like, can you straight up cheer for the North and then for the South? I mean, oh my gosh.
So they say they're kind of leaving it up to the supporters to decide for themselves, but they're giving a lot of guidelines. There's not going to be like national anthems. You can't have flags. Right?
Right.
They really have to think about this. So, like, there are national security laws here where it could be considered illegal to do things like that.
Right.
But also, so the match they're participating in is called the Champions League. It's more of a club competition, not
I see.
national anyway.
Okay.
So there won't be national anthems. There won't be flags.
And by the way, we have an update from our producer who says that most of the tickets have been sold
For the match.
event. Yeah, so she got us an update on this.
Cool. So yeah, I hope a lot of people do turn out because like when will you get the chance to see something like this?
True. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to say before I let you go?
Yes. This is just if you think about the logistics of the thing, they're going to stay in the same hotel, but they're separated. You know what I mean? So like contact will be extremely limited.
Sure.
And also, like, this is kind of a big deal because this team is actually really good that's coming from North Korea.
Yes.
They're like the best in North Korea. They've won multiple World Cups in recent years in general, the Women's Football League up there. So you might be surprised, like, how well they play.
Well, we will see what happens.
Yeah.
But we're going to call it a wrap for today. Wishing you a beautiful weekend, and we'll check in with you next week. So thank you,
Ramyeon
Casey.
today? You doing ramyeon today?
It's a Friday.
It is a Friday.
So if I could.
You got days to recover.
I could, okay. Well, thank you, Casey.
All right.
All right. Well, we have more coming up in hour number 2, but we're going to end it with this one. 라면인 건가 by 악뮤. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
Let's go. 아침에도 내가 뭘 했는지를 몰라 아니 내게 아침이란 게 있나 하나만 12시쯤에 있나었지
달력을 보니 오늘은 고백데이래 창밖에 남자 여자에게 고백해 난 친구에게 내 잘못을 고백해
12시간을 넘게 자도 일어나 보면 졸려 매일 똑같은 하루 이런 날 보면 질려 걷는 게 귀찮아서 배로 눈 그대로 여기저기 닦다 보니 안 해도 될 걸레로 청소 말이야 계란 말이야
나 밥상에 올라가도 이게 완벽이야
그리 몇 떡이야
날마다 침장을 열어보면 어제 먹고는 문뱃 조가리
라면인 건가 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 오늘도 내 점심은 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 라면인 건가
오늘 아침에도 내가 뭘 했는지를 몰라 아니 내게 아침이란 게 있나 하나만 12시쯤에 있나
같은 사이로 해가 빛나면 나도 신나서 양치도 안 하고 놀다가 밤이 됐어야 후회를 하지 oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Stop it, stop it, oh, 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 yeah. 사실 내 맘은 이렇지 않은데 하고 싶은 것 많고 그곳에 몸을 담고 의미 있는 일본을 살고 싶어도 시간은 가는데 하루 종일 TV가 켜져 있어 그 속엔 웃음이 가득하지만 TV에 비추는 내 모습은 점점 비만이 돼가 나의 미래가 Being like 띵띵 불어버린 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 oh, 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 오늘도 내 점심은 라면인 건가 라면인 건가 라면인 건가
Let's go
oh, 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 yeah.
FM 부산 영어 방송.
인생 막창을 찾아서 이러는 만남 불만열삼 막창의 신불만열삼 전차의 신불만열삼 여기가 인생 막창 불타는 막창 열받은 삼겹 불만열삼 창문이 1588-9376.
To explore Korea one day. This chance came for me in 2014 when I began attending Busan National University as a graduate student in computer engineering. I've lived in Korea for over 7 years and I even run my own business now, a company that is developing a platform based on artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. From my experience, I can say with an absolutely certainty that Busan was the best place for me to start my business, thanks to the specialized blockchain zone. In the past 7 years, Busan has become my second home and I obviously love it here. Global City Busan, we are in it together. This campaign was brought to you by BFM Busan 영어 방송.
안녕하세요. 셰프 에드워드 데이입니다. 빨리빨리. 한국 사람들은 이 말을 입에 달고 살더군요. 하지만 바쁜 걸음을 멈추는 모습에 놀랐습니다.
제가 들어드릴게요.
여기 앉으세요.
May I help you? 모르는 사람끼리 서로 존중하고 배려하는 모습을 보며 이게 대한민국이구나 생각했습니다. 가장 빠른 나라 대한민국에는 가장 따뜻한 멈춤이 있습니다. 공익광고협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back. This is 8 o'clock Spotlight News. Trump and Xi agree on bilateral ties, but reaffirm positions on Taiwan and trade. U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping signaled their desire to stably manage relations between the two superpowers, but staked out their positions on Taiwan, trade, and other key issues during a high-stakes summit in Beijing. The two leaders also agreed that Iran can never possess nuclear weapons, and the crucial Strait of Hormuz must remain open, according to the White House. Chinese state media reported that Xi said if the issue of Taiwan is not handled properly, the U.S. and China could clash. Samsung Electronics and government proposed talks. Union rejects offer. Samsung Electronics and the government yesterday urged the labor union to resume wage negotiations after government-mediated talks collapsed earlier this week. The union reaffirmed its position that it has no intention of engaging in further dialogue unless key demands are addressed. Industry Minister Kim Jong-wan, while urging the union to resume talks, said that if the union enters a strike on May 21st as planned, the government would have no choice but to issue an emergency arbitration, which would essentially stop the strike. Government official cites low possibility of non-Iranian actor involvement in attack on Namu. A senior South Korean government official said yesterday the possibility of a non-Iranian actor being behind last week's attack on a South Korean-operated vessel in the Strait of Hormuz appears low, while stressing that an investigation is still underway. The foreign ministry official said the government was focusing efforts on gathering evidence before a final conclusion can be reached. The official added that Seoul expects an appropriate response from the Iranian side if further investigations produce evidence supporting such an assessment. Kospi ends at new peak, stopping short of 8,000 points. The Kospi ended the day yesterday at a record peak of above 7,980, just an inch away from the unprecedented 8,000-point level amid optimism for the U.S.-China summit. The benchmark index opened higher but went through a choppy day of trading, especially rebounding in the afternoon, hitting 7,991 points at 1 point. Trade volume was heavy at 842.3 million shares worth 50.6 trillion won, with winners outnumbering losers 647 to 220. President calls for all-out war against crimes targeting youths and women after student murder case. President Lee Jae-myung yesterday called for an all-out war against crimes targeting socially vulnerable groups, including youth and women, following the recent fatal stabbing of a female high school student. During a meeting at Cheongwade, he called for intensified special police activities in areas considered vulnerable to crime amid public anxiety eases. Until public anxiety eases, and urged stern punishment for online secondary victimization targeting victims. The suspect, 23-year-old Chang Yoon-gi, faces murder and attempted murder charges for the alleged random attack against the 17-year-old victim. This was Spotlight News. This is our special interview on Friday morning. President Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping have finally met in Beijing after their previously delayed talks in March. Trump arrived on the 13th local time, beginning a 2-night, 3-day visit, the first by a sitting U.S. president in China in 9 years, since that was 2017. Alongside the summit, she also met with U.S. business leaders who traveled with Trump, including CEOs such as Tim Cook and Elon Musk. Trump described their visit as a chance to pay respects and help strengthen business ties between the two countries. And the meetup is being closely watched for what it signals about the future of U.S.-China relations amid rising geopolitical tensions. So let's unpack what this summit means. We have invited Professor Aaron Friedberg, Professor of Politics and International Affairs at Princeton University and non-resident senior fellow of American Enterprise Institute. Hi, welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, so Professor, how would you describe what we know so far about the discussions that have taken place, at least so far, with the Trump-Xi summit?
So far, it seems from everything we can tell that the discussions have been cordial. There haven't been any clashes that we're aware of. Both sides seem to be making an effort to appear at least to be getting along. We don't know yet whether there will be any substantive agreements that come out of the talks. I guess we'll learn more by tomorrow or today, your time.
Yes. And what does it signify that figures like, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Jameson Greer, even Jensen Huang, Elon Musk accompanied President Trump during this visit. What kind of messaging is the administration trying to get across?
Well, those people that you just mentioned fall into two groups. One is government officials and cabinet officials included, and the other are business executives. In the first, it's somewhat unusual to have all of these high-level cabinet officials on a trip like this. I think it's meant by the U.S. administration to indicate its seriousness and commitment to advancing the relationship. So it's symbolic. As far as the business people go, that may be more significant. It's a signal of the desire of the administration to promote further trade ties with China, and in particular to encourage U.S. exports to China. And also, the president has mentioned at various points the possibility of Chinese companies investing in the United States. So these two are, leading executives of two of the most profitable and successful companies in the United States, both of which are doing substantial business in China already.
I see. Thanks for breaking it down for us. And how significant is the reported understanding on keeping the Strait of Hormuz open? Because it does seem they do agree on that. So what does it tell us about the U.S.-China approach to Iran right now?
Well, I don't think that the fact that they're saying that is of great significance, because neither side had advocated that it be closed. The Chinese position has always been that there should be free movement. Of course, it relies on oil exports from the Gulf, and the U.S. position is the same. So I don't think there's anything particularly striking about this. One thing, at least according to the reports that I've seen, is that although the U.S. side has framed this as an agreement between the two sides, or that they've agreed on this particular point, I don't think the Chinese readout of the meeting actually mentions this.
Right. That is true. So what about discussions on things like energy and agriculture and market access? What do we know so far? What has been said?
Well, a lot has been said in advance of the visit, sort of general commentary. I think the expectation here is that President Trump will be trying to get agreements from the Chinese side to purchase more American products, in particular agricultural products, especially soybeans, and maybe also energy. That would be something maybe a little bit different. So we're looking for purchase agreements of some kind.
Yes.
On the Chinese side, I think the emphasis is there'd be two things that the Chinese side would like. I don't know how serious they are or how much they expect to get.
Right.
They would certainly prefer that U.S. tariffs that have been raised on Chinese goods be lowered. I don't know that they're going to ask that or insist on it. But they would very much like to see U.S. export controls weakened or certainly not strengthened. And the U.S. administration has already made a number of sort of gestures in that direction unilaterally, approving the sale of some higher level NVIDIA chips, not in the response to any Chinese demand. So the Chinese side may well ask for further loosening of U.S. export controls.
Yes. Well, other issues, at least thus far, I don't think they've been touched upon, at least not, at least as far as we know. Things like Taiwan, kind of touchy. So what do you think, how shall we interpret what's being emphasized in these readouts so far?
Well, I think Xi Jinping did mention Taiwan in his opening remarks, and I think he actually led off his remarks by saying this is the most important issue. It has to be handled properly. So he's not saying anything new or very striking there, but he's laying down a marker and emphasizing the importance that the Chinese side places on the Taiwan issue. My understanding is that President Trump didn't say anything about Taiwan, didn't respond, at least not on the record. It wasn't mentioned in the readouts, but I did see some suggestion that they, I believe from the Treasury Secretary, that they would be discussing Taiwan perhaps in this second day of meetings. I think the Chinese side would like to further, if they can, weaken the U.S. connection to Taiwan, and in particular, they would like for the United States to agree to sell fewer arms to Taiwan. This, of course, is something the U.S. has done over a period of many years. President Trump did something which departed from the usual American practice, which is to say that he intended to discuss U.S. arms sales to Taiwan with Xi Jinping. And the practice on the U.S. side has not been to do that, and certainly not to appear to be negotiating with China over arms agreements with Taiwan. So deliberately or not, the president has kind of moved the line a little bit in the direction that the Chinese would like it to go.
Okay. Well, Xi Jinping, he brought up the idea of the Thucydides trap during this meeting. So what message is he trying to send with the framing, using that analogy?
Well, without getting into all the historical details, which as a professor, of course, I'd love to do, the basic idea is that a rising power that confronts a dominant power, a situation like that is prone to conflict. And that's what happened in the war between Athens and Sparta. The Chinese side has seized on this concept, and they've made repeated references to it for almost a decade now. I think 2017 might have been the first time that they started talking about it. And it is notable that Xi Jinping used this terminology. Now, I guess a more optimistic interpretation of it is that the Chinese side is very concerned about possibility of conflict. A somewhat less benign interpretation, which would be the one that I actually would lean toward, is the message is, we are a rising power, you are a dominant power, you need to accommodate us, and if you don't, you're acting in a way that will increase the risk of conflict between us. I think that's the message that the Chinese side is delivering. They always take the position that the other party needs to reform and to adjust its approach, and that's certainly the implication of that phrase.
Right. And, many experts tend to view Trump and Xi as, strongman type of leaders of their respective countries. So do you think that this could test the way that they both lead their respective countries, test this fragile... At this point, there is a stable relationship, but still tensions between the U.S. and Chinese sides?
Well, one thing that I think is significant, even though it's in some ways it's just a matter of words, but the Chinese side has introduced a new concept or a new label, and I don't remember the exact wording, but it's something like continuing constructive stability or words to that effect.
Right.
And one interpretation of that is the Chinese side is in many ways satisfied with the status quo, doesn't want it to be upset. And they hope that if the United States agrees to this formulation, which I guess we have, they will be able to say subsequently that anything the U.S. does that they don't like, whether it's selling arms to Taiwan or tightening export controls, is a violation of this understanding and is responsible for whatever disruption in the relationship ensues. So I think they're trying to kind of box the United States in. That reflects, I think, their general sense that their position now is pretty strong and pretty good. On the U.S. side, the thing that is striking to me, at least, is it is not clear at this point what exactly the U.S. strategy towards China is or what the objectives of American policy towards China are.
Yes.
Is it to stabilize the relationship? Is it to pursue some kind of détente? Are we abandoning or relaxing the movement towards more competitive policies that's been building really since Trump's first term? It's not at all clear. And it's not in anything that U.S. officials have said. It's not clear what exactly our objectives currently are. And in my view, that's very problematic because it sends unclear signals, not only to the Chinese side, but also to our friends and allies and to third parties who are maybe unsure of exactly what we're doing. And since the U.S. in the last 10 years certainly has pressed its allies, including South Korea, to cooperate with it in, for example, tightening controls on the export of certain semiconductors and semiconductor manufacturing equipment, I think there may be some doubt about what exactly the U.S. purpose is, and that is not going to make it easier to get cooperation from our allies. It's important to have some greater clarity than we do now in what our strategy actually is.
Yes. Well, before we wrap up, I want to ask you a final question. So obviously there hasn't been a joint statement. There were respective readouts from both sides. What's the most important takeaway in your mind from this summit thus far?
Well, this may be a little premature, but what strikes me is how little there is to it. So far, there's nothing surprising. There's no indication of tension or dispute. There's no indication of forthcoming substantial agreements. It's possible that we'll be surprised by some things tomorrow, but I'm struck by how little is actually really on the table right now.
I see. Well, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with our listeners today. Wishing you a beautiful day. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
This is Professor Aaron Friedberg as we talked about the U.S.-China summit between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. And we will be back in just a moment with traffic and weather. It's time for your traffic update. Let's talk about this broken down bus on 거제대로 from 교대 3-way intersection to 남문구 intersection. So you might want to avoid that area, at least be aware of it. There's congestion on 동서 overpass from Hakjang ramp to Kaegum. It's backed up on Mandak-Sentum Expressway from the endpoint to Namei Expressway, Gupo-Nakdonggang Bridge. There's also traffic building on Jeonpo-daero from Jeonpo intersection to Munjeon underpass. Currently it's 17 degrees Celsius here in Busan. Clear skies. It's going to go up to 22. Other parts of the country, it's going to feel like hot summer. Above 30 degrees. So make sure you put on sunscreen and you're hydrated. Looking ahead to the weekend, it's going to be beautiful basically. Tomorrow, Sunday, maybe highs of 24 to 25 degrees. Clear skies ahead. This was your traffic and weather. It is time for Wagga Tea Time. Haley's back.
Good morning again.
Yes. So we talked about, weddings, getting married, etc. yesterday, but now we have flip side, statistics on divorces.
It's family month. So good news though, divorce rates are down.
Okay.
So it is family month indeed for the 6th consecutive year. So according to statistics, Korea statistics, the number of divorces last year came to 88,000, but that is down by over 3,000 from the year before. And the number of divorces from last year, the smallest in the last 29 years.
Oh, so what might have contributed to this or attribute to?
Are people just getting along? Are couples just getting along?
Are they?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. I can't. I have no experience.
Okay.
But there are just fewer people. And fewer marriages and fewer people, so therefore fewer divorces.
Okay.
And it is, though, further substantiated by the fact that late life divorces, the so-called sunset divorces, those are on the rise.
Oh, but are they really?
Yeah. So again, it refers to divorces that happen after the couple is the age of 60 or older. That came to 13,000 last year, the highest since record-taking began in 1990.
Okay.
And now these senior divorces, they account for about 15.6% of all divorces. That's also for the highest rate ever.
Oh, interesting. Well, we're going to bounce back to marriages or weddings.
All over the place.
Yeah, from divorce to weddings. To be more specific, and this is a topic of 축의금.
It's May, guys. It's May. And everything's on the rise, including the congratulatory money we give out in Korea for weddings.
Yes.
So this is for one bank, NH농협's bank trend report titled "How Much Should I Give for Weddings?"
Yes.
This was an analysis of over 1 million customer data of those who made bank transfers for the specific purpose of weddings.
Okay, so I'm so curious. Let's hear the results.
Yeah, so the annual average, we're going to go back to 2023, at which point the average money given was 110,000 won. 11만 원. 뭐 그렇게까지 왜요? And then in 2024, 11만 4천 원. 114,000 won. And in 2025, 117,000 won. So it just keeps going up and up and up. And a near 7% increase in just a span of 2 years.
You know what? If you give me a 7% increase in wages,
I will give you a 7% increase for your wedding money.
right? But that's just the average.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Elementary school math, there's a difference between average or mean, 평균값, the median, 중간값, or the mode, 최빈값. And okay, right. Before I put you to snooze, hey, it's Teacher's Day. You gotta let me get on my soapbox.
Okay.
Because you know what I want to do at these weddings? I just want to blend in. I just want to give whatever all the other people are giving.
Yeah.
So what figure do we look at? 최빈값, the mode.
The mode.
Yes, and the mode is 5만 원.
우리 모두 좋아요. mode.
모두가 참 좋네. 아유,
너무 좋네.
최고다. So 42% of the people gave 50,000 won last year, but it was closely followed by 100,000 won, 10만 원, at 39.7%. So almost 40%. And even, you must be real close or really like that person because 7.5% gave 200,000 won. Family, I'm assuming, or best friends.
Okay.
Bestest friends since the back days.
Yeah.
But the trend is the 5만 원 is becoming less and less frequent. 10만 원 definitely on the rise. Large amounts are also on the rise. About 3% gave over 100만 원, 1 million won. Again, I'm assuming that's family. If my sister gets married, probably. Yeah. When the first one got married, I didn't, but I was also in college. Fraction, 0.36%, 1,000만 원. 10 million won.
Parents.
That's like parents.
That's right.
And then speaking of parents, with the new tax breaks on weddings and births, that's been raised to 1억 won, 100 million won. Some people did transfer that amount over.
You can adopt us.
Yeah, I'm not having kids, but you can adopt.
So was there a regional distribution?
Seoul was naturally the most expensive, with the average coming to 134,000 won. But Busan,
Yes.
second most giving, generous, 128,000 won. Gwangju, 124,000 won. And Incheon, 119,000 won. So the major metropolitan cities. But by age, I think because maybe it's an investment. People in their 20s and 30s were the most generous givers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
At 138,000 won. That was the average.
Okay, so you guys figure it out.
Uh-huh.
I've graduated from that age range, so woohoo! Well, today is Teacher's Day. Sorry. Okay. But even my sister was saying, I know this is not about weddings. She was invited to a 돌잔치.
Really?
She felt so buddhams.
Yeah, because I'm not giving your child a gold ring. No.
She was just
Unless
what
that
do I
child
give?
has a part of my DNA.
Yes.
That's not happening.
Okay. So today's Teacher's Day. And so before we jump into the story itself,
Yes.
what life lesson have you learned, Haley?
I think one of my favorites is 다 이유가 있다. It could be everything happens for a reason.
That's not what you said off air.
No, and then I'm going to
Okay,
get to that.
okay.
But then let's start with a good one.
The
Let's
good
start
one,
with
okay.
the generous one.
Yes.
Or it could be things in life happen for a reason. Or maybe somebody acts in a certain way and you're
Yes.
like, what's wrong with that person? There could be a reason. They could be going through something. But I think, was it my 8th grade math teacher who was like, there are no stupid questions. Very cliche. But he followed that up with, only stupid people. It's humorous. It is humorous. And sometimes to be a teacher is to make those comments to yourself and be a little bit snide inside because you got to get through. We've got to do whatever we have to get through that class.
I gave an assignment. It was record something. And then I was thinking, do I really need to tell them send it by this time? So I didn't, just to see the response. It's due today, and I had students. The last student that sent it was last night at 11:50. 50 p.m.
I was going to say 59 p.m., but
50.
they were early.
50. So I was just like, okay, at least they didn't go past
Today
midnight.
is a very technical term.
Yes, yes. All right, so let's get into the story. With the anti-graft law in effect, the question is always, who can give gifts to teachers and up to how much?
At this point, the easiest answer is just don't.
Nothing.
Let's just don't.
Yes.
Save all of us a lot of words. But
Yes.
the golden rule is if he or she is your current teacher and you're the current student or the parent of a current student,
yes,
just don't.
Okay.
That is actually the law. No gifts of any monetary value. And we are talking coffee, cake, flowers. The only exception is when a student representative, not your
Yes.
individual child, but like the student body president, openly gifts carnations or flowers to that teacher.
Yes, yes.
So it's handwritten letters or cards only under the Anti-Graft Act or 청탁금지법.
Right. So again, the rules are if this is your current teacher, your child's current teacher, letter only, just to get it out there. Letter only. What about for former teachers, though?
Right. So if you're currently a student, your old teachers who have no influence on your grades or any
Yes.
evaluations, or if you've graduated, gifts are okay. Physical gifts up to 50,000 won, 5만 원. Agricultural products up to 150,000 won worth.
Okay.
But gift certificates, 상품권, or those digital gift cons, they are not allowed under
At all?
any amounts because the law doesn't cover it as a gift. So it's actually outside the realm of what's stipulated as a gift. For students who have already graduated and the teachers have no bearing on their careers or education, then gifts of up to 1 million won per year are allowed, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Right. And so, are there teachers who might be exempt from this anti-graft law?
Daycare teachers, 어린이집, even public daycares, although the education ministry says that while there are no legal problems per se, they do guide daycare teachers to not accept gifts as the job description and the duties are similar.
Right.
English kindergarten teachers, because these are actually not schools, they're private academies, and after-school teachers are under different contracts. They're also exempt from the anti-graft law as well.
I see. So, by the way, my nephew, he made a card and a paper carnation. And the little thing, it was literally, he got it off the internet, but he put in one coffee packet because that's how it came on the internet.
Oh.
And then the teacher was, thank you so much, but I can't accept the stick coffee. And she returned it.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. And I was just like, oh my gosh, are we in trouble? And she explained,
No.
she's like, we're not even the coffee, but the flour and the card she accepted because he
Yes.
made it himself.
Yes.
And it's like, so just so you know, great teacher, follows the rules. All right, this particular guideline from one education office made the rounds on the internet yesterday. So what was it?
Right. So, and that kind of goes to what the whole interaction between you and your nephew and his teacher is.
Right.
Because, fine, there's a law, and I'm all about following the law.
Yes.
But then why have teachers say? If teachers have to be in a position to apologize for not
Right.
accepting that stick.
That
of
stick.
coffee.
It was literally one
the
stick.
200 granules of instant coffee. And then just 그냥 하지 마시죠. 하지
Yes.
마시죠 그냥.
Right.
And so 경북 Education Office posted a full guide, a banner to anti-graft law, a guidance, basically what I just talked about.
Right.
But they added this part. If your students voluntarily amongst themselves throw a Teacher's Day party and there's
Okay.
cake, you can't eat it.
You can't?
You can't. You, the teacher. The kids can, but this is very reverse Marie Antoinette. You cannot have cake.
I guess legally?
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Even if it's a group cake?
Yeah, because you're not allowed to have it.
Oh, but the irony.
The
kids can have the cake, but not the teacher.
Exactly. And by the way, I'm not a public school teacher, so
Right,
I'm not
right.
advocating for myself. I'm
Right.
advocating on behalf of the public school teachers who
Right,
are
right.
then standing supervising a party for themselves and they can't have a slice of cake.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I'm just saying, then
What
can
are
we
people
let's
saying?
just not have school today. And some schools don't. Some
Yeah.
principals actually use their authority to just cancel classes for this day
Right,
because,
right.
why bother?
Right.
So there was criticism over this post, over the two strict rules. We understand, and we fully understand. I'm a child of the 90s. Have I seen envelopes?
Yes.
Of course I have. So we get it. But then, you know.
Sharing cake
Sharing
with your
cake.
students is a no-no.
So upon
Okay.
controversy, the office actually took down that particular post.
Thank you. All right. Well, these changes were implemented for good reason to uproot corruption, but they have some bearing on businesses.
Flower shops. Well, May used to be the busy month.
Yes.
Not anymore because Teachers' Day, you can give one flower per the entire student body.
Yes.
So this is not a gift giving or a flower giving holiday. Also, really not Parents' Day either.
Right. Because for Parents' Day, I mean, is it because of money?
Yeah.
Expensive?
Did you get flowers? I didn't give
did.
flowers. Oh, that's so nice. My mom gets mad when I give her flowers. She wants pots. And I'm like, we kill plants. I don't want to be morally responsible for that.
Right.
So, yes, auction prices, the wholesale auction prices for carnations at the public market on May 6th and 8th, up by 20 to 30% compared to the previous year.
Yes.
Add to that the materials you need if you're building a basket, the rubber caps, tissue paper, plastic shopping bags, ribbons. So everything's gone up. Even a small basket of flowers, they can be very expensive depending on where you are.
Yes.
So consumer behavior experts say that in these economic times, people want practical gifts. Unfortunately, flower does not equal practicality.
And when I say I got flowers, it's like carnations, but not the huge basket.
Right.
It was like individual from each kid,
Your
though.
kids are not made of money.
No, they're not. All right. Let's go to, we've been talking about, things that teachers can't have for Teachers' Day, for goodness sake. So what do they actually want?
They want respect. RESPCT, and to be rewarded.
Yes.
REWARD. Korean Federation of Teachers Unions.
Yes.
It was their survey across 7,000 teachers. The results kind of sad because only 5.6% said that the values of education and dedication to education, these were fully respected across society. 34% said they felt rewarded and proud of their teaching career, but
Yes.
55.5% considered quitting in the last year.
Wow. So let's go through the reasons.
It was less economic. 42% said yes, economic, but 63% those malicious complaints from parents and others. So the union said the fundamental problem that teachers have is not with the workload, nor the relatively lower wages, but
Yes.
a lack of a system that protects the teachers from complaints.
Exactly. So what kept them at their job? Because obviously, survey after survey says, they consider quitting, but
Right. So almost all of them, 95% said seeing growth or positive change with their students, showing that the vast majority of teachers want to teach. They want to actually educate. They were
Right.
moved by them being able to be educators and having these positive interactions with their students. And that's what kept them going. And, and that sometimes includes discipline. That sometimes
Yes.
include your child maybe not getting picked for a team or a gold star.
Right.
But that's a part of the learning experience,
Indeed,
right?
indeed.
So the union said that if the teachers could have a classroom environment where they could feel fulfilled, then they would stay.
We got to do something to keep the teachers there because
Cut the phone lines.
No contact with the parents. No. That's not a solution, but hopefully we can move towards some sort of good solution for everybody. Thank you so much for all the Woggly news. We'll check in with you on Monday.
Have a great weekend.
Everybody, this was Haley, and there's a message from Michael. Morning Wave in 부산을 알고 나서 저희 영어 선생님으로 이거 너무 좀 민망한데요, 비님. 개인적으로 캐슬 저희 영어 선생님으로 모시고 있어서 스승의 날을 맞아 감사드리고 싶습니다. However, I learned much more from you, the waivers. Sincerely, you guys are life teachers, and also Haley. Haley.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes. So, thank you, everybody out there.
Can we have cake?
I can't. I'm not a public school teacher. We can all have cake. So, anyhow, thank you so much. That's really sweet. And then he has a song request, 너에게 by 서태지. So let's play it. Thank you, Michael.
네가 아무리 지금 날 좋아한다 그래도 그건 지금뿐일지도 몰라. 왜냐하면 그건 말이야 너의 말들을 웃어 넘기는 나의 마음을 너는 모르겠지. 너의 모습 두려움이 앞서 너무 많은 생각들이 너를 가로막고는 있지만 날 보고 웃어주는 내가 그냥 고마울 뿐이야. 너는 아직 순수한 마음이 너무 예쁘게 남았어. 하지만 나는 왜 그런지 모두가 어려운 건 세상이 너를 변하겠지. 우리의 생각들도 달라지겠지. 생각해봐 어려운 일뿐이지. 나에게 보내는 따뜻한 시선은 때로는 외면하고 얼굴을 돌리는 일이 넌 길이 너를 싫어해서가 아니야. 너를 만난 후 언젠가부터 나의 맘속엔 근심이 생겼지. 내가 좋아진 그 다음부터 널 생각하면 기쁜 한숨뿐 사랑스러운 너의 눈을 보면 내 맘은 편안해지고 내 손을 잡고 있을 때면 난 이런 꿈을 꾸게 됐어. 나의 뺨에 내가 키스할 땐 온 세상이 내 것 같아. 이대로 너를 안고 싶어. 하지만 세상에 아직도 너무 많은 일이 내 앞에 버티고 있잖아. 생각해봐 어려운 일뿐이지. 내가 접하게 되는 새로운 생활들과 모두가 너에게 시선을 돌리게 됐어. 수 있니? 알 수 있니? 너는 이런 내 마음 아는 말. 너의 마음 다치게 하기 싫어. 이러는 것뿐이지. 어른들은 항상 내게 말하지. 넌 아직도 모르고 있는 일이 더 많다고. 내 순수한 마음만 변치 않길 바래.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for our final segment, Global Affairs. Can I mention this comment though, because it's like bothering me so much? Tommy is actually I can't even say it, complimenting Haley and me. Usually he loves like jokingly dissing us. But thank you, Tommy. You're so sweet today. And then he'll say like, "Oh, I was just kidding." But anyhow, thank you. We have An 교수님 here though. Happy Teacher's Day.
Oh, thank you. But what's the compliment from Tommy?
He was just saying that we look really pretty today. But usually he's like, you guys look a zebra and zookeeper. Like, oh, you look like you guys are on a safari. He loves being the fashion police.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And I've met him before. He's not a fashionista, but he loves commenting on our outfits all the time. In jest, right? However, An 교수님, you look so pretty today.
I know.
I love the
no
color
dogs
of your
today.
tie.
It's nice.
It's
isn't
an
it?
ice blue. Love. Can we zoom in? Oh, we can't. Oh my gosh, they're so small. Our PD님 thought that those were mosquitoes, but what are they?
They are donkeys.
Donkeys. 당나귀s. Oh, so cute. They're
Bit
really
of a change
cute.
this week.
I like.
Yeah.
Oh, so are you? We were talking off air about like the nature of like Teachers' Day and what it might mean. What does it mean to you to be an educator? I want to ask you this.
Oh dear.
You educate
Oh,
young minds.
Yeah, I guess for me that's kind of the most important thing. Obviously teaching in class, teaching
Yes.
the content is important.
Yes.
But more than that, just trying to inspire the students to do something productive, meaningful with their lives. I guess that would be more important.
Wow. I want to be in your class.
Sure. You can come.
I can sit in?
You can sit in.
Audit the class, okay. Nice. Well, we're going to jump into our corner today for Global Affairs. I have a little feeling, an inkling of what we might be covering.
Well, you might have heard.
Yes.
It's not been that much covered.
Oh.
But your leader, again.
My leader, yes.
He's on his travels. He's gone on holiday
Okay.
to a neighbor. So he's in China, of
Yes.
course.
We're talking about Donald Trump.
In China,
In-
meeting President Xi.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
So there was a summit.
Right.
Yes, obviously the two, leaders of the two superpowers
Right.
in the world had a meetup. So let's unpack.
Well, I like that, a
I'm sure.
meetup. That's what we'll call them now. They're not summits.
It's a meetup. Just casual drive-by, yes. So what do you think this meeting, this summit really symbolizes? So right now.
So for me, and I've been watching and listening to quite a few different reports on this, and generally there seems to be quite a general consensus on what this means. This is really sort of a symbolic moment where actually for the first time in, I guess, sort of modern history,
Yes.
we're seeing China and the US at the very least on an equal footing. If not, there's quite a few people starting to say that actually China now is maybe even a little bit ahead of the US.
Okay.
So, for example, if you look at things like the economy,
Right.
usually we compare by GDP. Now, on nominal GDP, so just the amount,
Yes.
actually the US is still ahead of China.
Right.
But when you compare it with PPP, so purchasing power parity,
Yes.
basically the cost of living in the different countries, actually China is now ahead of the US. So China's economy per person, we could argue, is a little bit stronger than the US
Can
right
you
now.
repeat the PPP? Because we have lots of English learners, and that went kind of quickly. So in this case, we're not talking about a political party. So what does
We
PPP?
are not- yeah,
yes,
right,
yes.
I
So
see,
what
yes.
is PPP once again?
So PPP is purchasing power parity.
Yes, just
So
wanted to put it out
effectively,
there. Yes.
it means if I have $50,000 in one country,
Yes.
it'll allow me to live a certain way. But if I take that money to a different country, maybe I can either live a much better life
Yes.
or a lesser life. So we're comparing the cost of
Thank
living.
you, Professor. that was so good, right?
Okay,
Yes.
so there'll be a test on Monday.
Okay, I shall remember. Study for the test, yes. Okay, so that's where we are. And, the red carpet. Was there a red carpet?
Oh, there was a very big, long Chinese-style
Very-
red carpet.
yes.
But this was also, again, very significant. So this was China, not just say, oh, the American president's coming, we should roll out the red carpet.
Yes.
This was a very big, a very grand welcoming. So they met at that palace, and then they had the big band, and
Yes.
they had the children dancing. And I personally didn't really like the kids jumping up and down.
Because?
It was a little, I don't know, it just felt a little strange, a little awkward.
Oh,
to me.
really?
But anyway,
Yes.
was my opinion.
Yes.
But again, this welcoming, this was China showing, look at us.
Yes.
This is the level now that we are at. We've reached this grand level.
Yes,
So again,
yes.
a quite significant sort of
Okay.
opening.
And of course, we can't ignore the delegation, the U.S. delegation.
Right.
Oh, by the way, we have a visual. Wow. That's a really good photo because you have the military in the background, and then of course, and they're like towering figures, both of them.
Right.
Like physically, they're large.
They're imposing.
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 Oh, thank you, saved me. Okay. Imposing figures was the word I was looking for. Yes, and then literally the red carpet,
Right.
a very long one.
Yes.
So that says it all.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the U.S. delegation because I'm sure by now many people have heard that he took from the government side, some higher ups, and also from the business world as well.
So a lot of people from the business world. So I mean, when we're looking at who he was taking, these are all big tech companies or finance companies, and they're all major players. There's the biggest companies in America, pretty much.
Right.
And if they're the biggest companies in America, they're also global multinationals, huge players globally.
Yes.
So this is, for me, again, there's a positive and a negative. So the positive is that he's taking this big group of players saying, look, America wants to collaborate, cooperate more with China in trade. We want to invest in China, but China needs to open up the market. And these players, these are the guys who know what needs to be opened up, what regulations need changing.
Yes.
So this is a very positive sort of statement saying, look, we're not just saying this, we actually do want to invest.
I was listening to you, but also side-eyeing Elon Musk.
He's like a big kid.
Right. That was like the meme that everybody was talking about, doing a 360. He was happy to be there.
But so again, that's the positive side.
Yes.
That it's not just rhetoric. They are very serious about wanting to be there.
Sure.
And Donald Trump even said his priority is the economy.
Right.
And that if China does start opening up, this will be win-win for America and China.
Right.
The negative way, and we could look at this, is, I mean, again, what we're seeing is Donald Trump in the past maybe would have gone alone with maybe a small group.
Sure.
Now he's taking this big group. I wonder if this signals that America also feels that they are a little bit behind.
Taking
that they feel that they need to take this big group in order to pressure China and force them to open up. Which again signals this shift in sort of relationship, shift in power.
Sure.
That actually China, the Americans, in a way, you could say they are maybe slightly begging China a little bit to open up. But again, these delegations, they're very common. We saw it back in 2018 when Moon visited North Korea. He also took the South Korean big business like Hyundai.
Yes.
LG,
It is
and all
common.
of these big Samsung.
Okay. So what were, the main issues? And obviously Trump is still there, but the main summit has taken place. So the main issue.
So again, this is very complicated. There's lots of issues. So there's no major one issue that they were going to talk about. Again, Donald Trump, he wants to focus on the economy.
Right.
But we've seen in China, probably they're going to focus more on trade. So it will be a big one. But also tech and maybe also Taiwan. But again, Taiwan, there are some reports saying that that Xi doesn't really want to talk about Taiwan because, again, he knows this is a complicated issue. He knows that this is the area where we could really have tension between the US and China. But there's also been reports saying that China may want to push the US to change its wording so that the US officially opposes Taiwanese independence. Whereas right now, it just officially doesn't support it.
Officially, it's like, yes, we observe the one, China policy, but, in reality, at least with past administrations especially, there have been friendly ties with Taiwan.
Right. So, I mean, overall, I think this summit really represents the sort of the changing of the guard a little bit. There's a big feeling that this really is a slightly different style of summit.
I see. Anything else that you want to add before we let you go today?
So I think what we're seeing really also is these very different strategies from the US and China. So Donald Trump, he's very much looking more the short term, looking to get these deals. So probably at the end of this summit, he'll announce they've had this big deal, an amazing deal of the millennia, whatever he says.
Yes.
So he wants that sort of quick deal. But later down the line, that actually causes problems. Whereas the Chinese, again, they've been very quiet with Iran.
Yes.
They managed to soak up all of the tariffs that Donald Trump was throwing at them. They've basically just been very patient. They've been building their long-term strategy. So again, we're seeing very different methods, different strategies playing out here.
I see. Well, of course, he will be there till tomorrow, and so we'll see if there is any other statement put out there by either side. So far, there have been these respective readouts, but that's about it. So, anything else, or shall I let you go?
Oh, you can let me go.
Oh, no, don't go, Jack. No. So we will let you go. But thank you so much for bringing all the details of this summit, this meetup between President Trump and President Xi. And of course, we'll check in with you next week. Thank you.
See you next week.
All right. So yes, today we have been talking about the fact that obviously there is this big summit that's happening in Beijing between the two leaders of the two superpowers of the world. Also, though, we have been celebrating Teachers' Day. So thank you so much for sharing all of the good things, the lessons that you have learned throughout your lives. And obviously, learning doesn't always happen in the classroom. I think it happens anywhere and everywhere. So whether you are an official, in air quotes, teacher or educator, or, you just exude teachings as a person per se. Thank you for tuning in and for your messages. We have William in San Francisco who sent in some lovely photos. So we're going to actually show them. Wishing you a beautiful weekend. See you back on Monday. So here you go. Enjoy the photos. Bye, everybody.